Hey everyone, and welcome back to Swift Guitar Lessons for another by request song tutorial. As many of you can probably imagine, some of the most common requests I receive on this channel are for Beatles tunes or their solo works. So today I'm going to be breaking down a classic track off George Harrison's 1970 album All Things Must Pass, entitled My Sweet Lord. Before we get there though, I want to introduce to you my new product of the week. This is the AirCell Guitar Strap from my good friends at KLIQ Music Gear. Now this is by far the most comfortable guitar strap that I've ever used. Long hours on stage or in the studio, on tour, often leave me feeling pretty sore, especially with a heavier guitar like this 93 Gibson, which is very solid. This strap, its AirCells, are designed to absorb some of the shock and also keep the guitarist cool. I can honestly say that it's like I'm holding a much lighter guitar. So I'd love to see what you think of the AirCell Guitar Strap by KLIQ Music Gear. You can click through the link in the description to get your own, and be sure to utilize the exclusive Swift Lessons promo code SWIFTSTRAP, okay? And that'll save you $10 on your order. Now, let's get started with your lesson on My Sweet Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, close look at the fretboard and also my strum in hand, getting started with this tutorial on My Sweet Lord by George Harrison. We have a capo here on the 2nd fret, and we're in standard tuning. We're going to begin by learning the rhythm section. I'll take you through the intro, the verse and choruses, and also the bridge, and also that key change to get started. Okay, getting started with our intro section, let's begin by talking about the chords we're going to be needing. An E minor chord, an A major, a D major, a B minor, an E flat diminished, a B7, and that sums up all the chords we're going to be needing for the verse. Okay, kicking this song off, we have an E minor to A change. We're going to go through that change 4 times. Each chord is going to get 4 beats, but the A chord is going to come in on the upbeat after the 4th beat. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. You do that 4 times, okay? The strumming pattern that we have is going to sound like this. One more time. Okay, so that was down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. With a count, 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. Okay, I put a little graphic up there to help you along with that strumming pattern. Now you can use that pattern throughout the song, but there is variation. If you listen really, really closely, it's not an exact science. There's a lot of different variation going on. One very, very kind of common variation that you can use would sound like this. Alright, so that's my favorite strumming pattern to use for this song. That's down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And I like that because it's kind of a default strumming pattern. You hear it in tons and tons of different songs. And I kind of start moving the chord on a downstroke. Watch my hand real slow. Okay, and that's definitely a pattern that you can use throughout the song. Okay, so far in the intro we have the E minor to A change 4 times. Next we're going to have another progression come through, a D major chord to B minor. Alright, that segment's going to sound like this. D, B minor, D, B minor. Okay, after that we're going to go to the D major again. Then we're going to go to an E flat diminished. Okay, with relative to the capo, that is 1, 2, 1, 2. The fingers would be pointer finger, ring finger, middle finger, pinky. And we're going to half that measure up and go to the B7 chord just by taking the middle finger and putting it on the 2nd fret of the A string. So this change is going to sound like this, starting from the D to B minor. Do that one more time. Alright, then the D, E flat diminished. Right there on that upstroke, the B7 comes in. Then after that, we're back to E minor to A. My sweet Lord. And that gets us into the chorus. Okay, getting started with the chorus section. This part is very simple. We're just going to have E minor to A. Okay? Keep in mind though, later there's going to be a key change where we'll play the same exact thing. It'll sound the same, but there'll be different chords. Alright, but so in the beginning of the song, we'll have E minor, my sweet Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. And that basically sums up the chorus. Now you're ready to get into the verse. Okay, so our verse also borrows from the intro. I really want a D major, B minor. I really want a D, and then B minor with you. I really want to see you long, but it takes so long, my Lord. And then we're back to that E minor for another chorus, my sweet Lord. So you've learned all this already just by learning your intro section. Alright, after that we're back to the verse. This is going to be for verse 2. I really want to know you. Same thing. Really want to go with you. I really want to show you long, but it won't take long, my Lord. And we're back to the chorus. My sweet Lord. This time with the hallelujahs. My sweet Lord. Okay, follow along with your chord sheet via the Patreon page. Now we're ready to get into the bridge section. Okay, moving into the bridge section, this is the first part that doesn't borrow directly from the intro. The chords we're going to be needing: a D major chord for 8 beats, followed by a D7 chord, flipping it backwards, for 8 beats. Then, after we've built that tension, a B dominant 7 chord comes in, setting up the the key change, E major, to an F diminished chord, okay, taking that original diminished shape that we had and bringing it up a whole step. Okay, that means that we are doing a whole step key change. Okay, then that's only going to be for half a measure. We're going to throw in a C sharp 7 chord. Okay, and then we're off to the next chorus, which is going to be using an F sharp minor to B major chord change. Okay, so some of the trickier chords there. That F diminished shape, that is 3, 4, 3, 4, okay, relative to the capo. Pointer finger, ring finger, middle finger, pinky. The C dominant 7, that is 4, 3, 4, 2, blocking the high E string, which is very, very important. Otherwise, you end up with a very, very nasty sounding chord. So use the bottom of the index finger to block that high E string. Just like that. Okay, put all that together. We have the D major chord. Let's throw in the strumming pattern too. I really want to see you. The B7 chord. The E major chord. F diminished. C7. F sharp minor. And now we're ready to jump into the chorus, okay, which is going to be just that F sharp minor to B major chord change, okay? Now keep in mind, there's 2 ways of playing that B. We can do kind of like a double bar in the 2nd fret, and then barring with the ring finger, D, G, and B, or you can set up kind of like an A major shape, barring it up there. My sweet Lord, that B chord coming in on the upstring, my Lord. My Lord. Okay, hallelujahs are going. Now we're ready for the next verse, okay, but now it's going to be in a different key. We're going to have E major to C sharp minor, okay? We're also going to need the chord F diminished again. We'll need that C7, and of course back to that F sharp minor to B chord. Make sure you're following along with your chord sheet. So the verse now, I really wanna know E, C sharp minor, really wanna go with you. Alright, back and forth, show you long, but it takes so long, my Lord. So it's just like the verse before, but we're in a different key, and now we're borrowing from the bridge, okay? Alright, then we're back to the F to B change for the chorus. This is all stuff you have. The instrumental section comes in now. We have the E, same thing. It's basically the intro, up a whole step. Comes back in with another chorus, another verse, and then a very long extended chorus with all kinds of different Hindu deities being mentioned. That's just going to be the F sharp minor to B change. I think you guys got it. Follow along with the chord sheet. You have all the different parts now. Just need to memorize the structure. Now that we have the rhythm section down, let's get into the slide guitar parts. Okay, getting into the slide guitar sections for the intro and also the instrumental sections. Before we get started, I want you all to check out the slide that I'm using. This is a very cool slide, kind of a quarter seating bottle from Dunlop accessories. I'm going to put the link to this, the Amazon link for this particular slide, because I think it sounds great, and a lot of the best slide players in the world are using this particular slide, or the style of the slide. Demonstrating the first section of our tab for the intro section, we're going to have okay. Let's get that down first using our pointer finger. That's one of my big tips for learning slide. Try to play it first using your hands, then transition over to the slide. So that was going to be a slide up from 14 to 16 on the high E string. Then we're going to slide from 14 to 12. Okay. Then we're going to slide back up to 14 from 12, back to 12, and then we're going to have 14, 14 on the B string. And the second time is going to have vibrato. So, now with the slide, alright, make sure you're using your pointer finger to kind of block the strings you don't want voiced. And I'm using my hands also to block the strings that I don't want voiced. That's with my right hand, okay, or my picking hand. Now I am using a pick here. You don't have to use a pick, but it does make it a little bit easier. Later we're going to switch over to some hybrid picking. Now some of the nuances. Slide up to that 14th fret and stop the strings by using your picking hand. Slide away down to the 12th fret, and everything's kind of short and staccato. Slide up, and vibratoing with the slide takes a little bit of practice, so be patient there. Alright, now we're ready to move on to the next line of our tab. Okay, demonstrating the next section, it's going to sound like this. Okay, it's almost easier to do it quickly. We're going to slide up from 14 to 16, 14 to 12, let me use it with my pointer finger. So all that was the same as the first section. But then we're going to have this really great kind of country style lick. Okay, so that was a slide from 12 to 14 on the B string, 12 on the high E, and then a slide back from 14 to 12. Here it is. Just like that. And use your tuner. I'm using a, this is also made by KLIQ. I'm using an Uber tuner just to make sure that my pitches are good. Okay. Of course, it's a lot easier to have good pitch when you have the music behind you. Okay, that is sections 1 and 2 of your tab. Let's put the two together now. Okay, now we're ready for the last section, which is going to utilize some hybrid picking. Okay, getting into our final section of this intro slide guitar part. So far we have now the last part. Okay, making sure you can see what I'm doing there. Okay, so using my pointer finger, show you how it's done. We're going from 14 to 16 as we did before. 14 to 12 with a slide back. Then some double stop action here on the G and high E string. Think of this as being the standard tuning version of it. You will see some players choosing to use the B and high E string with the B string tuned down a half step. I didn't feel like dealing with all that aggravation, so I'm just going to do it in standard tuning using the G string. So we're going 16 and 16 on both of those strings, sliding down to the 13th fret. Then 13 sliding down to 10. Then 10 sliding down to 7. Then back up to 10. And sliding up to 13 again. Okay, so with the slide, that would sound like. Real slow. Slide. 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 Just play there. Don't slide to 10, just take 10. Go back up to 13. Then finally, we have 14, 14, 14 slide to 12, and then 9 slide into 7. Okay. I also could have done that on the G string, going 13 to 11. So it's really your choice if you want to find other positions of these notes. Okay, and that finishes up our intro slide guitar section. Okay, now moving into the instrumental slide guitar section. For the most part, it's going to be the same as our intro section, but up a whole step. But there'll be some variation to it. The whole thing will sound like this. Okay, so that first section using my pointer finger, we had 16 to 18, then 16 to 14, sliding back up 14 to 16, then to 14, then 16 on the B, we're going to do 16, then slide to 14. Then we're going to have the G string 15 to 13. Okay, so that's a little different than the intro. Sometimes I forget that. So remember, we're going to do a little extra slide descending part there at the end of that. Here it is. Okay, with the slide. One quick little tip. While I'm playing on the G string, I'm blocking the B string and high E string, so that way there's not any residual noise. That's not something that I got overnight. It's something that I practiced mindfully for a while. Now it's just automatic. Okay, moving into the next line on your tab, it'll sound like this. Okay, so that was sliding from 16 to 18. All right. 16 to 14, then we're going back up to 16, 14, 16 on the B, then we're going to have that same little move that we did in the intro section, but up a whole step. Slide in from 14 to 16, 14 on the high E, then 16 to 14 on the B string. Okay, keeping those strings nice and quiet. So far we have. Okay, now we're ready for the final part of this instrumental section. Okay, now moving into the final section of this instrumental slide part. Going to be using some of the same double stop technique that we did before. It's going to sound like this. Okay, so with the pointer finger, that was 16 slide into 18, then 16 slide into 14, okay, backslide there. Then we're going to have 18, 18, G string, high E string, sliding down to 15, 15 sliding down to 12, then we're going to have 12 going down to 9, then we're going to just go right to the 12th fret, and slide 12 and 12 to 15. All right, with the slide, it sounds like this. All right. Sounds great if you can get a little vibrato there if you can. Then we're going to have, that was 16, 16, and then sliding down to 14. Then we're going to have 11 to 9. Alright, that was the B string, 11th fret, 9th fret with a nice vibrato at the end. Okay, which may be shown on your tab as a V or a little swiggly line. Then, okay, it'll take some time to get all this to speed, but I can't think of a better song to help you hone your slide guitar skills. Alright everyone, thanks so much for checking out this lesson on My Sweet Lord. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much to my supporters at patreon.com/swiftlessons. Be sure to download your tabs for all the different sections of this song, including your lead guitar parts. I got many more videos coming up, so keep checking back. Please subscribe, please share. This is Rob at Swift Guitar Lessons in Philadelphia saying happy picking.